There are a lot of reasons why we love our swimming pools. Your pool is a great gathering place for parties with neighbors, family, and friends. And it's a great way to exercise or unwind at the end of a long, tiring day. If you're eager to dive in and cool off, but there's something not quite right with your pool, stop. Don't get in. You really need to determine what's wrong before you go any further. Let's talk about the 3 distinct dangers of swimming in and the causes of cloudy pool water. First, cloudy water is often the result of suspended particles that can cause a couple of health problems. Cloudy water is a breeding ground for the growth of bacteria, which can cause recreational water illnesses, more simply put, stomach bugs. Contaminated water can also carry germs like Giardia, E. coli, or Cryptosporidium that can be absorbed through your mouth, nose, and eyes. Second, cloudy water can make it difficult to spot a swimmer who's in trouble, especially if they're on the bottom of a pool. There have recently been some tragic reports of swimmers who have drowned in cloudy pools, so please don't risk your safety, or anyone else's, by swimming in cloudy water. Finally, cloudy pool water can make it difficult to judge the depth of a pool. Even in clear water, it's easy to misjudge a pool's depth, but when you can't see the bottom of a pool because cloudy water, it can be dangerous to dive or jump in. So what causes cloudy water? 3 things: poor water chemistry, poor water filtration and circulation, and finally, the weather. Proper chemistry is broken into 2 parts: balanced water and sanitation. Balanced water takes into account pH, alkalinity, calcium hardness. Sanitation is referring to chlorine. There are other types of sanitizers, but for now we'll be discussing chlorine. When your pool's water is not balanced or has incorrect chlorine levels, the water can become cloudy. Additionally, elevated levels of minerals, metals, or total dissolved solids can affect water clarity. Poor filtration and circulation. There are several things to look for here. First, make sure your filter and pump are working properly. You could have a clogged pump, a dirty filter, or you might be using old filter media. And make sure your valve settings are correct so that no water is bypassing the filter. Check the timer or automation system to make sure your equipment is running for an adequate amount of time each day. The entire volume of your pool's water should pass through the filter at least once a day. That's called a turnover. Quite a few pools require 2 turnovers to keep the water clear, especially in hot weather, and maybe more turnovers. Depending on the number of people using the pool and weather conditions, for best sanitation and filtration, most pools need at least 12 to 24 hours of filtration daily. Hotter weather requires longer circulation times. You can improve circulation with consistent brushing and vacuuming, especially in corners and steps. I joke in my classes that the 18-inch wall brush is the most important but least used swimming pool maintenance tool. The best water flow pattern is circular, so be sure to point those return fittings eyeballs in the same direction so they work together. The best way to enhance water circulation of your pool is to dive in and swim around. Enjoy. Finally, the weather will affect the clarity of your pool water. A heavy rainstorm can wash contaminants into your pool, and spring pollen can be an issue. Depending on where you live, you might also have to contend with leaf drop season, certainly here in Austin, air pollution, or sand and dust storms. Higher water temperatures bring higher pool use. Both factors place a higher demand on your water balance, sanitizer levels, and pool filtration. So when you're using your pool the most, be prepared to increase all 3 of those elements to meet the added demand.